Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. A warm welcome to our honored guests from the Sri Sarada Devi Ashram, which is in Asherville. I've driven past this ashram, I think, from a young boy. I don't know how old this ashram is. Avinash Bhai, how old is this ashram?
1984 it was established.
Okay, it was established in 1984, and I would believe it is a branch of the Sri Ramakrishna. Okay, but it is the wife of consort of Sri Ramakrishna. Okay. It is ironical but also relevant to mention that I live, I think we are about 5 kilometers from each other, 6, and I'm only finding all of this out now, today, and this is why we have initiated this program of social cohesion, religious cohesion, and spiritual cohesion. Surrounding me, I think in 7-8 kilometer radius are many ashrams. We have the Sivananda ashram, we have opposite Vasan's house, what's that ashram? Sapta Mandir. We have some Sai Baba services, we have the Battersea Hall, and I am living here for 50 years in Reservoir Hills. But we don't know each other, and we are supposed to be practicing the same system. And this is why I broke a few barriers and decided that, well, together with our own, I have invited the mosque, the churches, the synagogues, so that we need to know each other. This is where our problems are. We practice philosophies that are 99% identical, it's 1% difference, but we tend to segregate ourselves because of the philosophies that our saints or founding fathers has projected. I want to say, I hope it's my place to say, that from the Sri Sampradaya we have total respect of Sri Ramakrishna and his teachings. And for those of you that do not know, our main literature, this is the Sri Bhashya, the commentary of Lord Sri Ramanuj, about 900 or 860 years, 40 years, the commentary of Lord Sri Ramanuj, the Sri of the Brahma Sutras, and the Sri Bhashya, the Bhagavad Gita, these gems were lost to the world. And it was great saints from the Sri Ramakrishna Center that came down to the south. It's here in the forward. They came down to the south and unselfishly, although the philosophies conflict here and there, I said the conflict is just 1%, and that 1% is whether the Supreme Lord has a form or does not have a form. Where it is said he has a form, it is Vishish Advaita, and where he does not have a form, is Advaita. And I think this is the only place where there is a contradiction. But to understand form from a human point and to understand form from a saint's point are two different things. And it should be easier explained in the place of form, whether the Supreme Being is a living entity or whether the Supreme Being is an energy. If we can understand it like this, and us being living entities, then it will be obvious that the Supreme Being has to be a living entity. The Supreme Being is inconceivable in his attributes. He can be formless as well as have form. When you reach a state and when you can have a relationship with him, then you will understand this concept. So we should not get antagonized whether he is form or whether he is formless. And I think this is the only difference that exists from all of the teachings of the Sri Ramakrishna and of Lord Sri Ramanujan. As I said, great Swamis, they went to the south, they extracted this treasure, and these books are published by the Sri Ramakrishna Center. I went to India, and to get these books was quite difficult, but somehow, through the grace of God, I got both these books translated, edited, published by the Sri Ramakrishna. And it is no coincidence that you are here today. I think Lord Sri Ramanuj, although he is now 1006 years in this month, he would feel very great that this knowledge was first expounded to the world from the Sri Ramakrishna Center. So thank you very much for attending. I see you have a program that would have started at 7:15 and ended at 8:15, which means you need an hour. But on our side, we have no time restrictions. So feel comfortable, feel you are at home, feel you in the same family, and give it all. So just a quick background. This is my Guru, Swami Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. He was born on the 27th of May 1937. He left his mortal coil in 2007. I met him in 2008. So I have never physically met my Guru. I met him conceptually on a photograph, a small photograph like this, and I got all my instructions from the photographs. I was a businessman. Prior to that, I was involved in law, and prior to that, I was a military man for 9 years. That's my background. 25 years of atheism. I was an atheist. I studied S7 in school, and I believed in atoms, molecules, electrons. So seated here today, I'm walking from the extremes on the other side. My wife is unwell, and so are many of our bhajan groups. I think we only had one regular Jessica from the bhajan group. Everyone else is not here. And my wife would tell you how difficult her life was living with me, because she comes from a family of worshippers. Dad was a bhajan singer all his life. Seva Samaj, they were in Battersea Avenue, and I was breaking mantra beads and kicking out the Lakshmi from my duplex there down the road in Pempeli Way. So this is how extreme I was. I was a military man, I had a firearm, I had an appointment certificate, and I was an atheist. Can you see that recipe of disaster? But I lived like this for over 20 years. I met my guru conceptually, and if he could change a thetar, you'll understand what thetar is, and make him sit here today. I did not go to any classes. I did not have any classes. I do not know Sanskrit at all. Kitchen Hindi last when my grandmother was alive. I think I was 16. Then that Hindi was lost. And then in 2013, for the very first time when I was going to Guru Purnima to attend Guru Purnima at my Guru's ashram in Faridabad in India, and reckless taxi driving is when I suddenly remembered my Hindi, because that was the only language you could speak to these drivers. So this is a background of myself. But in Sanatana Dharma, a guru is born. He takes the part of a material personality, and when God or his guru decides to awaken his spirituality, then everything on the spiritual level is revealed. So I sit here today knowing the Vedas as somebody that would have went into Gurukul, that's in India from the age of 5 until he would have finished his learning. So understand the Brahma Sutras, understand the Bhagavad Gita, understand all the Vedic knowledge. When I sit here, my discourses are not prepared, but I only use these books for reference, because I have an international audience, and now and again I have to show them that I'm within the parameters. Okay, just some background. So I'm local. I'm here for 50 years. No intention at all to be on this side. No sentiments, no emotion to be on this side. I was on the other side of the world until my time was activated, and I sit here today on this side. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank your organization for taking time out to come through. I want to hand over, and I ask my devotees to give your full attention to whatever is happening around you. And lastly, I just want to note that Swami Vivekananda, when he was on his way back from the religious parliament in India, he was on a ship, and when he was on his way back, there was two white Christian missionaries that were undermining Sanatana Dharma. And Swami Vivekananda caught one of them. You all saw his photographs. He was strong and stocky. So he caught one of them by his throat and pressed his throat, and he wanted to throw him overboard. You knew this part? So this is how I am practicing Sanatana Dharma. I was in the military for 10 years, and if anybody is caught crossing our path, I also catch them by the throat and I shake the hell out of them. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, or whether you are Sanatan Dharmi yourself. It is our duty to protect Sanatan Dharma. Jai Shriman Narayan.
परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल परम दयाल प्रभु परम दयाल राम कृष्ण प्रभु परम दयाल परम दीवाना परम दीवाना श्रीमान शारदा Shiva Gami Krishna सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
प्यार वीर हनुमान का बाबा, से मेरी विनती करो
Acharya Ji, dear sisters, brothers and loving children, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shriman Narayana. We convey greetings and good wishes from revered Pravrajika Ishtaprana Mataji, the spiritual head of the Sri Sharda Devi Ashram. We thank the officials and members of the Sri Narayan Dham for inviting us to participate in the satsang during this month of the Ramanujans. Our reading for this evening is taken from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. This inspiring text was scribed by Mahendranath Gupta, or M., who was a school principal by profession. M. spent many years in the company of Sri Ramakrishna and recorded the teachings and experiences of the Master in his diary, which was later compiled into the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Many spiritual aspirants are drawn to the practical teachings and simple analogies explained by Sri Ramakrishna, which clarifies profound spiritual truths that are contained in our scriptures. We will chant the prayer on page 13 of our prayer book, which is taken from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Tava Katamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadattatam Bhuvi Grinanti Te Bhuridajana. The reading is taken from the chapter entitled Festival at Surendra's House. It is a dialogue that is taking place between a devotee and Sri Ramakrishna, the Master. A devotee asks, "What is the way for those who have not seen God? Must they give up all the duties of the world?" The Master responds, "The best path for this age is Bhakti Yoga, the path of bhakti or devotion prescribed by Narada, that is, to sing the name of and glories of God and pray to Him with a longing heart. O God, give me knowledge, give me devotion, and reveal Thyself to me." The path of karma, or action or activity, is extremely difficult. Therefore, one should pray, "O God, make my duties fewer and fewer, and may I, through Thy grace, do the few duties that Thou givest me, without any attachment to their results. May I have no desire to be involved in many activities." It is not possible to give up work altogether. Even to think or meditate is a kind of work. As you develop love for God, your worldly activities become fewer and fewer of themselves, and you lose all interest in them. Can one who has tasted a drink made of sugar candy enjoy a drink made of ordinary molasses? A devotee asks, "The English people always exhort us to be active. Isn't action the aim of life then?" The Master says, "The aim of life is the attainment of God. Work is only a preliminary step. It can never be the end. Even unselfish work is only a means. It is not the end." Shambhu Malik, a devotee, once said to me, "Please bless me, sir, that I may spend all my money for good purposes, such as building hospitals and dispensaries, making roads and digging wells." I said to him, "It will be good if you can do these things in a spirit of detachment, but that is very difficult. Whatever you may do, you must always remember that the aim of this life of yours is the attainment of God and not the building of hospitals and dispensaries. Suppose God appeared before you and said to you, 'Accept a boon from me.' Would you then ask Him, 'O Lord, build me some hospitals and dispensaries?' Or would you rather not pray to Him, 'O God, may I have pure love at your lotus feet. May I have your uninterrupted vision. Hospitals and dispensaries and all such things are unreal. God alone is real, and all else unreal. Furthermore, after realizing God, one feels that He alone is the doer, and we are but His instruments. Then, why should we forget Him and destroy ourselves by being involved in too many activities? After realizing Him, one may, through His grace, become His instrument in building many hospitals and dispensaries. Therefore, I say again that work is only the first step. It can never be the goal of life. Devote yourself to spiritual practice and go forward. Through practice, you will advance more and more in the path of God. At last, you will come to know that God alone is real and all else illusory, and that the goal of life is the attainment of God. Once upon a time, a woodcutter went into a forest to chop wood. There suddenly he met a brahmachari. The holy man said to him, "My good man, go forward." On returning home, the woodcutter asked himself, "Why did the brahmachari tell me to go forward?" Some time had passed. One day he remembered the brahmachari's words. He said to himself, "Today I shall go deeper into the forest." Going deep into the forest, he discovered innumerable sandalwood trees. He was very happy and returned with cartloads of sandalwood. He then sold them in the market and became very rich. A few days later, he again remembered the words of the holy man to go forward. He went deeper into the forest and discovered a silver mine near a river. This was even beyond his dreams. He dug out silver from the mine and sold it in the market. He got so much money that he did not know even how much he had. A few more days passed. One day he thought, "The brahmachari didn't ask me to stop at the silver mine. He told me to go forward." This time, he went to the other side of the river and found a gold mine. He then exclaimed, "Ah, just see, this is why he asked me to go forward." Again, after a few days, he went still deeper into the forest and found heaps of diamonds and other precious gems. He took these also and became as rich as the God of wealth himself. Therefore, I say that, whatever you may do, you will find better and better things only if you go forward. You may feel a little ecstasy as the result of japa, that is, the repetition of God's name. But don't conclude from this that you have achieved everything in spiritual life. Work is by no means the goal of life. Go forward, and then you will be able to perform unselfish work. But again, I say that it is most difficult to perform unselfish work. Therefore, with love and longing in your heart, pray to God, "O God, grant me devotion at thy lotus feet, and reduce my worldly duties. Please grant me the boon that the few duties that I must do may be done in a detached spirit." If you go still further, you will realize God. You will see Him. In time, you will converse with Him. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Ambe Ambe Mata Ki पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
With the head, neck and spine in a straight line, and concentrate on that aspect of God that is seated within your hearts.
पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ॐ तत्सत्।
Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki
जय
Mahamai ki
जय
Swami Ji Maharaj ki
जय
Ganga Mat ki
जय
Mahavir Swami Ji ki
जय
Sarva Rishi Munion ki
जय पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव की जय। ओम नमो नारायणाय।
I think you, I don't think, I am making a statement. I'm sure my devotees, those physically present and those that were watching this rendition and your bhajans, you took us on a trip. It's called spiritual synthesis. Thank you very much. I'm sure everyone felt it, including yourselves. This is an aspect, this is a friendship that I hope to establish on a more regular basis when your organization is having a festivals where you feel you could invite us, where we're not going to intrude, then do not hesitate. We will honor that invitation. I want everyone to observe just a moment of silence for the passing on of one of my bhajan members' mum. Srini Bhai's mum passed on today, and our condolences to his family. Just a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Just a little on Srini Bhai. He came from the military, the Navy. He spent all his life in the Navy. And he, after attending the second satsang, he stopped drinking, smoking, and he became a vegetarian. And the first opportunity he had, he took initiation. Sri Vaishnavism, we believe that whoever takes initiation 3 generations forward and 3 generations backward is immediately liberated upon the soul leaving the body. So his mom, after the ceremonies, would head straight to Vaikuntha. This is the bonus you get for taking initiation in Sanatan Dharma. Just to touch on Avinash Bhai, I do not know if you all have Swamis and Swamins in your ranking. You should be a Swami, Swamiji. Sri Ramakrishna was a Muslim, you know. He was also a Christian, you know. He took his consciousness and he practiced Islam. He took his consciousness and he practiced Christianity until he had a realization in both Islam and Christianity. And this is at a spiritual level. And this is what we are doing currently in the ashram in this month of the Ramanujans, but in a physical, societal manner. We are embracing Christians. There are many pastors that are coming here. We get in the same field, the same energy. Tomorrow, one of the most eminent Sheikh Rafiq Hussain, scholars of Islam, he has a foundation called All Religions One God, Many Religions One God. Quite a prominent man. He is on International Islamic TV. He interviews me now and again on that. He's a presenter, a very eminent person. And again, this consciousness of Sri Ramakrishna is part and parcel. I will talk about Sri Ramakrishna tomorrow before I introduce him. Reinforcing the belief that we are all one ultimately. We practicing different religions, and it's coming from a realization from our own saint. And this is why I'm saying, Bhai, there is so much of hate, interracial hate, interreligious hate, is because there is no information out there. We are keeping the information to ourselves. As Sheikh Rafiq found a verse in the Quran that commends inter-religious tolerance. It's a prerequisite, but we do not embrace each other. We don't know our Muslim brothers and sisters. We don't know our Christian brothers and sisters. They don't know us. They believe our idols are satanic worship. So I brought them to the ashram. I explained the word idolatry do not mean idol. I explained to them that we have a powerhouse and these are not ordinary marble stone. Because we need to do this. And today they are preaching in the ashram, which is a breakthrough. It's an international breakthrough. I also go to the church. I also go to Islamic functions whenever I am invited. And we are breaking these barriers, and I hope together we can partnership, because Sanatana Dharma is not a religion, it is a science upon which all religions exist. Religion can exist and religion can die off. Sanatana Dharma will continue to exist as long as this universe is in existence. So I thank you. I thank you for responding to the invitation. I am a guru of the 21st century. I'm not technical. I'm more for knowledge. So please, we have a braai, we have some buns, but it is vegetarian. I live in a Western society. I'm utilizing that as a truth. You understand? So don't get shocked at our buns and our sausages and our Western meal. Our devotees like to have a Western meal through Eastern ingredients on a Friday for some reason. And all gurus, they now and again, when pressured by the devotees, they collapse. And I'm collapsing. But I made sure just one thing I don't have at the ashram, or try not to have, is biryani. All right? But I'm changing. Please stay. Have part of what we have to offer today. And do not make this your last day. Let's see how we can uplift ourselves socially. And before I end, I want you to look at that photograph of Lord Sri Ramanuj next to that purple flower. I bought that photograph in 2018. It was taken out in 2018. His body is still in existence after 1006 years. His eyes are still there, his ears are still there, his flesh, all parts of his body is still there at Sri Rangam. You may Google. He was the first social integrator of this modern civilization. I carry his surname, and 1,000 years later, I'm carrying his mission. His instructions to me: respect all, worship your own. One sentence. And my Guru's instructions to me: create a divine society. So I took these two instructions, I combined it, and here we are today. I started this practically in 2020 during COVID. I started the month of the Ramanujans. The month of the Ramanujans is exclusive to this ashram. The 5th being the birthday of my Guru. The 5th being the birthday of Lord Ramanuj, 27th being the birthday of my Guru, and I decided to beginning of our Adi Guru and the birthday of my personal Guru to have service continuously. It is difficult. You see, half my members are not here. They're tired. This is the second. It's 14 days in a row now that we have in service, and we hope that next year you and I, Swamiji, can see that with a relationship and a partnership, we are more acquainted than our meeting today. Jai Shriman Narayan. Thank you. There won't be Aarti, Shanti.